So how are we going to differentiate what are the true teachings of the Buddha and what are not the true teachings of the Buddha? It's a very difficult thing to do. It's like you ask most people, suppose now they make a counterfeit note, counterfeit $10 or $50 or $1,000, and suppose they have a very good machine and they make this counterfeit money look very real. You ask an ordinary person, you give him change or you change money for you, or in the bank, suppose you give him a false $1,000 note, he won't know, isn't it? You look at the real and the fake one, it looks the same. How to know? So, maybe an expert policeman who is trained in this field, he looks carefully, then he knows how to find out what is the real, what is the false. So in the same way, the Buddha also said in one of the suttas, the Buddha said, in the future, counterfeit Dhamma will appear, false Dhamma. And then the Buddha said, when the counterfeit Dhamma appears, people cannot see which is the real, which is the false. And when they cannot see, they will lose heart. Lose heart, sort of get tired of it. Which one is real, which one is how this monk says like this, that monk says like this, this teacher says like this, that monk says differently. How am I going to know which one is true? Isn't it? So, the Buddha gave example of counterfeit gold. The Buddha said, now you have only real gold on the market. People sell real gold. So, people want to buy gold because they know when they buy gold it's real gold. But the Buddha said, a time will come when false gold will appear. And then people will sell gold which is not real gold. So that when you buy gold, you're not sure whether it's real gold or not real gold. And that happens, surely you are scared, then you don't want to buy gold, isn't it? You prefer to buy something which is more, you can see more clearly, maybe diamond or something. So in the same way, the Buddha said, our Buddhism will slowly decay and disappear because of these wrong teachings. So coming back to the question, how are we going to differentiate the true from the false? Now, of these three different schools of Buddhism, we want to ask, there are so many books. Is there a set of books which all three sects of Buddhism agree is the Buddha's words? If we look carefully, there actually is. In the Mahayana teachings, there is a set of books which they call the Agama Sutras, or in Chinese they call Ahan King. Those are 4 books. They call it Chang Ahan, Zhong Ahan, Cha Ahan, and Zheng Yi Ahan. Now, these 4 books are also found in Theravada. They are called the original 4 Nikayas. The Digha Nikaya, long discourses of the Buddha, Majjhima Nikaya, medium length discourses, Samyutta Nikaya, and Anguttara Nikaya. And these are supposed to be the earliest 4 Nikayas that were discussed by the 500 Arahants about 3 to 4 months after the Buddha's passing away, when the Arahants met to try to discuss and agree upon a set of words which are supposed to be the Buddha's own words. So you see, and these 4 books are also accepted by the Vajrayana school as the words of the Buddha. Only thing is, Vajrayana and Mahayana say that these are the lower teachings, the lower teachings of the Buddha. It doesn't matter what they say, as whether it's lower or higher, as long as they accept it, that it is actually the Buddha's words. Now, most of the Mahayana books, what they call the greater vehicle Tai Sing, is not accepted by the Theravada school. And Same with Vajrayana. Many of the books and the mantras, etc., are not accepted by Theravada simply because there are suttas that contradict. So once you have this set of 4 books which everybody agrees is the words of the Buddha, we have a standard to go by, Because in the one of the suttas, the Buddha did say, the Buddha said, in the future, suppose people say, these are the words of the Buddha, these are the actual words of the Buddha. Then the Buddha said, you don't have to welcome it, accept it, or you don't have to reject it straight away. Buddha said, you have to examine what he claims, this person claims to be the Buddha's words. You have to examine it. And examine it with what? The Buddha said, examine it with his words in the suttas and in the Vinaya, in the discipline rules of monks and nuns. So when the Buddha says, compare with the sutta and Vinaya, then, as just now I said, which sutta to refer to? Now since we have this set of 4 books which everybody agrees to be the Buddha's words, so we should compare it with these 4 books. So any other books that come even later, that claim to be the Buddha's words, if they are actually conform, don't contradict the earliest 4 books, we can accept it. We can accept it. For example, there are some Mahayana books which speak sort of the same principle, same things. For example, to keep the precept, not to harm other beings, to cultivate the mind, etc. So, if there is a contradiction, then only we don't accept it. So, whether there is a contradiction or not, how are you going to know? Unless you go and study both sides, what the 4 books say and what these other books say. That's why, unless you make this investigation, you're not going to know. And when you go and investigate, like I did, then you will find, surprisingly, there is a lot of inconsistency. There's a lot of contradictions. So what some books say compared to like the original 4 books.